Hello, welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we are going to have a look at 3 different Windows 10 mobile games again. And as always, my name is Gerald. I'm here with a couple of different devices I'm going to use, which are of course these Bluetooth devices, which are the mouse in this case. And I'm going to use my Foldable keyboard, which is this one. And I just hit some kind of an action key there, a couple of them, doesn't matter. In the end, this is a Bluetooth device and this is a Bluetooth device I'm going to use. I could use the Xbox One's wireless controller with some of the devices or with some of the games here, but we are not going to do that in this episode. And of course, as my mighty old hero, can't call it anything else anymore, is my Lumia 950 XL here. It's a Windows 10 mobile smartphone with a USB-C connector at the bottom. It has a Mozo cover in real wood, more or less, at the back, and it's going to be our main processor in this episode, as in most of the Windows 10 mobile episodes at least. And it is Continuum enabled. Continuum means that I can connect it with a USB-C connector at the bottom here, and you already can see it. It's more or less a touchpad now for my big device here. And my big device, of course, is just a TV where I used HDMI to connect it to. And in between there is this display dock, which is standing at the side here, small little USB-C hub in the end. And that one is giving us the option to use our smartphone in more or less the fashion of a PC, more or less. So in the end, the smartphone is going to generate the PC or desktop-like experience we are seeing here. It's not a desktop system or something, it's a Windows 10 mobile system with a different UI, more or less. So as you can see, we have now a start menu and stuff like that, and we can of course run desktop programs, some of them which are for Windows 10 mobile and which are Continuum enabled, of course, can be run at here, but more important for us, we can play games on it. And what I'm going to do in this episode again is of course showing you 3 games. The 3 games I'm going to show you in this episode are Siren vs Pipette, very strange game, Candy Bomb, and Commander at War. And if you want to know more about Continuum or anything else, please have a look at the corner up there. There are a couple of other videos where I'm going to show you more about all this. Other than that, let's start with the first game. The first game is going to be, as mentioned before, Siren versus Pipette. And all of the games we are playing today are Continuum enabled, so we can stay in this mode. And I'm just going to go to my All Apps list here and go in, and as you can see, there is Siren versus Pipette. Again, very strange game. It's more or less some kind of a ragdoll physics game, more or less like something like a Stickman game, but you will see what I'm talking about. I'm just going to turn around just to play it a little bit better, and of course I'm using my mouse, and I think that's all I will need in this case. It's meant to be played with touch, of course, but works totally fine with a mouse, for instance, too, because you don't have to do much. You just need the mouse here, and we can have a look at the options here. There's not too much to talk about here. There's this joystick part. We have vibrations off because I don't like vibrations at a game where I'm not going to use my smartphone anyway. In the same fashion, of course, so in my hand. And like that, this should be fine. And the joystick part is very important because you're going to use your joystick in this game, otherwise you can't really handle anything. And what we are going to do here is now I'm just going to select something, and you have the endless mode in this game and the select story mode. Is it a story? I'm really not sure about that, but anyway, you can go in here, and we are just going to play one stage in this game. And what is it? He's going to ask you again, hey, where would you like to have your joystick? So just select that. I'm going to use the right one, then I'm clicking done. And as you can see, we already completed the stage, but it doesn't really matter. You are that guy. I'm not sure why we have to talk about that, but that's it. And as you can see, we have some kind of ragdoll physics part here, more or less like those stick man games. And what you are going to do is you're going to use your joystick here to just tell the stickman where to go to. And in the end, most important, you want him to hit you and or otherwise. But important about that, please make sure that you are only hitting him with the right parts of your body. We just won. In the end, you will have to use your fists, of course, or your legs to hit him. Anything else that is going to hit him will decrease your health, and so you will have to fight in this kind of fashion. It's a very strange game because it's pretty much something between easy but somehow not. Oh, I just clicked. I think the same game? No. Okay, kill all enemies again. Don't use any boosters, I'm not. And we need to have 30% health left or more. So, next game. And again, it's always the same characters as far as I can see, because we are talking about this Siren Man and whatever the other one was, Pipe Man or Pipehead. I don't see anything of that. Siren, maybe that is a siren from the front or something, I'm not sure about that. But the other one isn't really going to cut anything here. What I find at this game is that it's pretty easy to solve. You just go in one of the corners, for instance, like this, and wait for him to just run at you. Because now your head is more or less in a pretty favorable position, can't be touched or anything. And anything he's going to do is now giving you more or less an advantage, because everything he's going to do is going to touch your feet or your hands or whatever. Could be that you're losing if there's some kind of booster and some stuff in the higher levels, but it's unlikely, I would say. And again, this would be the next stage, of course. I'm not going to play all of them, just try it out by yourself if you want to. It's a very strange little game. I don't exactly know what the story, for instance, was. Story mode? And what is the story in this game? I don't see it. But whatever, if you like this kind of ragdoll physics game where you're going to beat something up, that's a fine game, try it out. Okay, so the next one is Candy Bomb. Candy Bomb is more or less a Candy Crush clone, of course, like many others. And in the end, I'm just going to show you a little bit about it. So Candy Bomb, there we are, I'm going to click on that. Again, it's a Candy Crush clone. A nice one, I would say. It's a little bit, somehow the graphics are a little bit too, let's say, low resolution or something. But it's fine. The game itself is pretty nicely done. As you can see here, it has a couple of nice colors in there. If you like this kind of very sweet looking stuff, this is more or less what you would be looking for. In the end, there are a couple of different, not games, but a couple of different levels here. So the first levels are very small and it's going to increase in size later on. You have a couple of moves, for instance. So there are a couple of different options here, like you have, of course, to hit the target score. Target score is 300. Pretty easy. It's the first few levels, of course, to reach that. But in the end, he's going to tell you what to do at the start, because we are more or less in the tutorial here. And as you already can see, one move, we already got our score here. And not even close that we are not giving that. But that's normal, because they are just going to tell you what to do. And now he's going to give you some kind of, let's say, motivation for the next games or whatever. So to stay in here, they are going to give you a good start in the end. That's normal for these kind of games. If I click on that now, target is 400, we have 6 moves left, and after a while you're going to experience less success, let's say it like that, because it's of course harder to do then. And yeah, you already see it. It's more or less a game as you already know it, more or less. It's candies here, so we are talking about some kind of sweets in the end. And we have, of course, some kind of power-ups. Of course, you will have to put together 3 of the same kind And what you're going to do is now just grab one, move them around and play like this. And of course, if you have some kind of a power-up like this one was for instance to kill everything on the screen which has a certain color, and there are a couple of bomb-like experiences, whatever you want to call that, and so on and so forth. So just try it out. If you are one of those Candy Crush addicted more or less, this might be the next addiction level you can reach. In the end, it's not very hard to play or anything. It's just a nice little game to get rid of a couple of minutes on your day if you're standing at a bus stop or whatever you're going to do there. And just try it out. Again, we can play another one. It's pretty easy. After a while, you're going to go to higher targets, and those are going to be not that easy to reach as those here. And after a while you get power-ups and stuff like that, as you already know from this kind of games. Again, one here. Oh, interesting, this one can't be activated without this, so I'm going to do that in this way. Okay, thank you, I did very well, I'm aware of that, thank you. Yeah, as mentioned before, they have to really motivate you in these games. That's more or less what they are trying in this kind of parts. And again, we just didn't have to do much in this game. Okay, so let's go to our last contender in this episode, and that's Commander at War. Commander at War is a pretty nice game, I would say. It's more or less can you call it strategic? I'm not sure. But let's say an action game where you are going to look from the top on your different units more or less, and you are trying to overcome all the enemies in the end. It's a pretty nice one, a little bit 3D. So you're looking from the top on it, so it's more or less, I'm not sure if it's really a 3D game or if it's just a normal game. And the interesting part, it's very Chinese, I can't read this. Real name of the game is Commander at War, and one of the worst things about these kind of games is how long the tutorial sections are. So in the end they are really telling you what to do at the start for a very long time. You can't really explore it by yourself or something, but in the end it's a nice little graphics game, so we have pretty nice graphics like this one, and you are going to have a couple of different units. You are going to try to fight against somebody else. Most important or most funny thing about this game was that when I started it, it was on French. So I don't know why, but it was set to French. Probably he thought I would be in French or France, but in the end, of course, I'm not. And so I had to wait for a long time, click through the different tutorial parts there, till I really understood what he was telling me. So if it's the same for you, just click through, it's going to end, and after a while you will be able to click on the button of the settings there. At least if you are in the game, you can't do it anyway else, and then click on that button and there you can switch the language. I'm going to turn around and show you what's going on here. As you already can see, we have a couple of different informations here. These are more or less all the menu parts. So you're going to increase your army health, and more units are going to be added all over again after a while. You can go to training, event halls and stuff like that, and go to battle in the end. And what I want to show you is, of course, a battle game. So again, we are still in this kind of, let's say, tutorial mode. I'm not sure how to call it in a different way. He is just going to tell you a lot about what you should do and what is going on here on this part. It's fine, but I think it's just a little bit too guided for me. So it would be much more fun to do it by myself after a small little introduction. So giving me 3 or 4 hints, everything's fine about that, but don't tell me over several games or several battles what to do. That's not very funny or not very good. As you already can see, these are a couple of the units you're going to use in your game or in the battle itself. And of course you are going to increase their power and give them higher levels of whatever. And like that, as you can see, guided again. Please close the window. Really? Do I have to? Sorry. That's just too much for me, but in the end, it's a fine little one. As you can see, we can increase, probably upgrade our units now. And here you already see a little bit of the units you're going to use. For instance, this one is carrying a bazooka, and you're going to play with it. Here are a couple of informations about the one. So, for instance, how much damage will it do to non-armor, light armor, heavy armor, and so on and so forth. It's what you would suspect from such a game, and I really like it somehow, so it's not a bad thing. And first time he's not telling me what to do. Okay, thank you. And again I have to click on it, and again I'm already using it, so whatever, thank you. Go out. And now let's play a battle, because that's the fun part of the game. I really like it, I enjoy the game itself. Could be a little bit less guided again, but totally fine for me. And it's more or less some kind of a strategic battle royale-like game. I'm not sure what to call it. It's not one of the real-time strategy games like StarCraft or something, not in that fashion, but still it's a fine one. So in the end, what you are going to do is you are going to deploy different kinds of units here, and they are going to try to fight against other guys which are coming at you in there. And as you already can see, he overthrown me, so I will have to put something. If you have a look at the different kinds of units I can put out, maybe I should turn down the volume a little bit. Give me a sec, just so I'm not really screaming my lungs out here. So in the end, as you already can see, there's this little icon given there, 40, 25, and this is more or less how much one of the units costs you to deploy. And as you already can see, we have 16 of these deployment parts with a certain rate of increasing ones. And after a while, as you can see, we already overthrown him, and our guns are on the other side of the game. And all you will have to do now is try to stay, more or less push him back again and again and again with more units. It's not really hard or something to do it. You are just going to have to put them out, put them somewhere, and of course you need enough oil and stuff like that to do that in the end. And as you can see, it's looking pretty fine. You can lose in this game, I already did that. It's not too easy to do, but yes, you can. And I like that, because it's then just a little bit more like a real game and not something that is only there for generating revenue or something. So this is really a fun little game. Try it out. As you can see, all you will have to do is then fight against, for instance in this case, artificial intelligence. And as you can see, we will have to defeat the enemy base. And this is more or less what we are doing here, and we already got it. This is very fun. There are a couple of different units you're going to find here. We did the 4 was destroyed. Army diversity and stuff like that was B, so I did well enough, not good, not perfect, but still okay. And as you can see, we have a couple of different other rank factors here. It's a pretty nice game for somebody who wants to play this kind of battle royale, RTS, whatever game. So real-time strategy, I don't know if you want to call it that, because they're not really telling the units what to do, but you are only deploying them and they are going to go and try to fight the enemy. Anyway, I like the game, try it out, and as always, you will find all the different links to the games in the description box of this video. Other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, I hope you had fun, I hope you have the best, more or less, New Year's Eve of course, and the parties around that, hope you will have fun with that. Hope that you had a great Christmas of course too, and other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, please give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel if you did until now. Any kind of questions belong into the commentary section down below, and other than that, thank you for watching, see you in the next episode next year then, and have a great one, bye. Bye!